I'm Dr. Olushola Ajide. Today, in this video, I would like to address a very important topic, and that is quite an issue which is of importance to every PhD student, and that is, how do I write the thesis? How do you write your PhD? I'll be highlighting 5 important tips that would help you to write your PhD. Now, number 1, the first tip I would like to mention is the fact that you must understand yourself. You must know who you are. This reminds me, there was a particular research gathering which we normally go yearly out with of the university, and we're taken to a particular place, the retreat somewhere for PhD students. And there was this talk of knowing the type of researcher you are. So what type of researcher are you? I remember vividly that broadly from that assignment that we were given, that the workshop, there are 2 broad type of researchers. There are those persons that are very organized people, in which when they work based on timelines, when they are given, they work based on deadlines. If they have an assignment, they actually deliver before the date of the deadline. Those are first categories of researchers. The second category or type of persons are those who don't meet with deadlines. Those who don't they actually ask for extension because of the type of, they're not organized, the type of person they are. Now, understanding the type of person or you are, if you're an organized person that always work to plan, or you are a person that doesn't work to plan, that you always work the other way, you need to understand who you are. Now, why is this important? Because it will help you to know how to structure yourself, how to be able to write the thesis. Because if you are a structured person, you'll be able to work based on plans. You itemize the sections and plan what you're going to do day by day. And if you're not a very structured person, you can be able to find a way of looking for chunks, periods in which you have motivation, in which you are able to write something, write maybe chapter or write sections that can help you edge towards completion of your PhD program. So that's the first topic, the first tip I would give. Know who you are. That's the first tip. The second tip is you need to have a ritual. Now, having a ritual is very, very important. Now, having a ritual, it relates to time that you are going to write, in a day in which you're going to set aside to write, either in the morning or in the afternoon or in the evening. If you understand, this follows from the first tip. If you understand yourself, you know the time in which you are able to be focused, in which you are calm, your brain is calm, you are able to focus and put your mind to work and put your pen to paper to produce the thesis. So number 2, that I'm saying, develop a ritual, a writing ritual that would give you and edge you towards completion of your PhD. Now, number 3, the third tip I'll bring your way today has to do with get an accountability partner. Get an accountability partner. In having an accountability partner, it's important that somebody will hold you accountable for what you have produced. Now, closely knitted to accountability partner, or the second point I mentioned, which has to do with the ritual, is that the accountability partner will also help you to to hold, to make sure that you are following through your ritual. Now, let me give a very practical example here. And now, during my PhD program, it was oftentimes I get stuck in knowing what to do, in knowing how to progress, in knowing what to do. And I remember this particular professor that I was close to, and I normally bring, through ideas, not in my supervisory team. And in a particular day, she took me from our office where we were discussing, she took me to my office and told me to sit down there. And I must make sure that in the next 45 minutes, I must produce something. And that is part of the ritual, making sure your bum sticks on the chair and focus on the computer and put something down. Quite a lot of PhD students, they move, when they come into the office, they go from visiting one person to the other person or the other person. But there might be need in the ritual to have a ritual that I will not get up from my seat until after 45 minutes or after 1 hour, in which you know that you have put something down, you are focused. So it's important to have this ritual. Let me quickly recap. I have 3 things I've mentioned. Number 1, know who you are. Know the type of person you are. Number 2 is the issue of developing a ritual, a writing ritual. And part of the writing ritual is to ensure that you have times of sitting down on your desk and making sure you don't get up until you have been able to produce something. There are times in which you might be sitting there for the next 1 hour and nothing. It is good. Sit down there. You will be thinking. You would have been crystallizing your thoughts. You would have been able to move, your thought from a blank thought to at least to something that will be heading you towards completion of your PhD. And the third thing is have an accountability partner. Somebody that you'll be accountable to, that will ask you, what have you written today? Show me what you have written today. What have you done today? And that is very, very important. Now, the fourth thing about writing, the fourth tip about writing your PhD is what I will classify as understand what is the requirement. Know what is the requirement. What is the requirement of you? For example, if you are writing the methodology chapter, for example, what's the requirement of a methodology chapter? What's the standard requirement? Because there are baseline standard baseline requirement for every methodology chapter. There are baseline for requirement for every discussion chapter. There are baseline for every result chapter. So you need to understand what's the baseline, what is the requirement, how should a methodology chapter or a discussion chapter, how should it be structured? You need to know this basic requirement. It's important that you know what and how this is supposed to be structured. It's extremely important. And the fifth tip I will talk about writing your PhD is look for a suitable location. Now, I remember in my own time, because I have a lot of friends and quite a lot of people bounce ideas on me. They come for ideas or counsel of how to write their own PhD. And because of that, oftentimes when I come to my office, I cannot find what I've done in that particular day. So what did I do? I had to change my location to relocate to the library, to where nobody knows me, where in which I'm sitting down, nobody is telling me hi or hello, how are you doing? I'm just focused there, and I'm able to put in the time and focus your attention. Now, because it's important that during the PhD, you need to know to write something, to produce your PhD, to develop the arguments, it takes a lot of mental work. So you need to have an environment in which you are a suitable location, in which you are able to focus, in which you are able to put your mind to work and be able to write something that will be good, that in which you will edge you towards completion of your PhD. I hope these 5 tips would help you to write, to push your PhD to completion. again, the 5 tips are: number 1, know yourself. Number 2, have a ritual. Number 3 is to what? Is to get an accountability partner that will help you to keep up to your ritual and make sure you're producing your thesis. Number 4 is to, get a location. Look for a suitable location in which there will not be little distraction. There will be no distraction at all. And the 5th one is know the requirement. What's the requirement of the section you're working on? I'll see you again in my next video. I hope this has been helpful to you. Don't forget, the purpose of this is to get you on stock, to move you towards completion of your PhD, and to ensure you don't drop out of the PhD program. I'll see you again in next video. Subscribe to this channel. Bye.